capital employed, capital employed. Capital employed means the amount of capital invested. The amount of capital invested. Again, when we make a comparison between the small and the large businesses, of course the small businesses have less investment, mean they have a less capital employed in the business, while the large companies or the large businesses have a lot of investment employed within the business. That is very easy things to understand. The large businesses enterprise the greater value of capital needed for the long term investment or the greater amount of capital employed. Again, comparison between the firms in the different industries may give rather misleading picture. Again, when we make a comparison, here we should write here comparison between businesses from different industries may lead to misleading picture. Misleading picture. Two firms employing the same number of workers may have different capital equipment needed. Okay, let's say any business where the number of to any business where number of employees are same, number of employees are same, but they have different capital equipment needed. But different capital equipment needed. Such as, for example, if we make a comparison, for example, there is a one employee or two employees. For example, when we make a comparison between two business, let's say hairdresser, he's the only one person who can manage his business. Hairdresser, when you compare it with optician, again here we also have a one business person. So number of employees are the same, but opticians will need an expensive diagnostic and eyesight measuring machines. Now you can see that when you make a comparison between two companies from different industries, it will not make a sense when even when you have same number of employees. Is it making some sense to you? That how every measurement isn't completely or the perfectly fine to measure the size of the business. Okay. What is capital employed mean? Just to get clear a few words to understand. The value of all long-term finance. The total value of all long-term in finance, invested in the business. Invested in the business. Okay, that's become a capital employed. Now we have two more things to understand here. Number one, market capitalization. Market capitalization. Market capitalization. Market capitalization mean the total value of company's issued share. The total value of company issued shares. Issued shares. It can be used for the businesses that have shares quoted on the stock exchange. Okay. Refers to the business that have shares quoted on stock exchange. If we have firms that have their shares which are quoted on the stock exchange, you know what kind of companies they are? They are the public limited companies. Keep in mind, because private companies, in the private companies, your shares can only sell and purchase by your close members, in your family members. But the public, general public, can purchase and sell them. Okay. So public limited companies are actually registered on the stock exchange. How to measure the market capitalization? So market capitalization, I'm just saying it's MC. Market capitalization is equal to current share price multiplied by total number of share issued. Total number of share issued. If you remember, we already took an example. Let's say you wanted to sell 10 shares. Okay, you wanted to sell 10 shares and each shares have the worth of 10 rupees. So what would be your market capitalization, that how much capital you have invested in the market, that is known as 100 rupees. Is this, that is that appropriate way to measure the size of the business? Because we already reject the number of employees, we already reject the revenue for the sales turnover, because we said when we make a comparison of the companies with the different so when we make a comparison between the business from the different industries, revenue will not be an effective thing. Then capital employed, again the market capitalization itself, is it a better way to make a comparison of the different companies from the different sectors? Question is that obviously there are so many changes around our society, as we already have a discussion on it. So it has an impact on the shares of the price. Okay, the share price tend to change every day. So this form of comparison is not a very stable one. Why? Because share of price change every day. So comparison is not simple. Let's say today we said the market capitalization is 100 of that particular company. Let's say tomorrow there is some issues going around in the country, and the price of the shares dropped to 8. Then how we can say that one day before the worth of the companies 100 and now today it is become an 80? So again, it's covered so many things in that particular saying. So market capitalization, again, it's not becomes an appropriate to measure the size of the business. One more, an additional concept here we have is the market share. Another terminology is to understand market share. Market share is a relative measure. is relative measure. If firm has a high market share, it must be among the leaders of the industry, of the market. If any company who has high market share, who has high market share, must be the leader of the industry, must be leader of the industry and comparatively large. However, if the size of the total market is small, the high market share will not indicate a very large firm. If we talk about its formula, market share, market share is equal to total sale of the business, total sale of the business divided by total sale of industry. Total sale of industry multiplied by 100, because market share we always get this in percentage, we get always get answer in the percentage. That's why you have to multiply by it with 100 just to get few things to understand.